about grace and too much about goodness. And I just want to say, you're dumb. I say it with all the love I can muster in my heart, but you cannot overemphasize the goodness of God. You just can't, because I'll show you this in a little bit. David said, you are good and you do good. In fact, one translation said it this way, you only do good. So if God, who never changes, was good, then he's always good. And if he only does good, then that means nothing he does is bad. And so if God is constantly doing good to all, then how can you overemphasize his goodness? You can't. That means you could preach every Sunday about the goodness of God from now until the last Sunday of your life on this earth, and you still would not have exhausted the subject. God is good. And when we understand that God is good, it takes the pressure off of us. Oh, it's going to get good. Look at Romans chapter 2, verse 4, and I want to read this to you out of the King James Version, where Paul said, or despisest thou the riches of his goodness. Now, that word despisest, it literally means to look down your nose, to think lightly of the goodness of God. And Paul is trying to drive home, listen, no matter how good you think you are, you're never going to earn salvation. And to think that you can earn anything from God is to look down your nose at his goodness. Because you're overvaluing your goodness and undervaluing his. And you think, listen, whenever you begin to think God ought to do this because you did that, whatever that is, I've heard people say that God ought to bless them because they're a tither. No. Is tithing good? Absolutely. But does God have to bless you because you're a tither? No. God blesses you because he's good. Just settle that. I've heard people say that God will heal you when you sow. No, God will heal you because he's good. It's not about what you do. Anytime you think it's what you do, you are basing your faith in self-righteousness. And that's either going to result in pride or condemnation. They're both the opposite sides of the same coin. The fact is we got to look unto Jesus. That God does good because he is good. Not because we behaved good. So Paul